Muhammad Ali is a legend in his time, but he's a fighter for the people, and that's what he's always said, never forget where you come from and stand up for what you believe in.
Here in Kentucky and around the world, people are mourning the loss of one of the greatest boxers and humanitarians of all time, Muhammad Ali.
We'll look at how people are remembering the legend ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Sean Moody.
And I'm Meredith Jones. It's a little bit wet out there to start our Saturday morning off.
A little damp, a little humid. That might be a theme throughout the day. Mike Linden is standing by in the First Alert Weather Center. How's it looking right now, Mike?
Sean, it looks wet right now, but this might be the best time as far as avoiding the active weather goes. We look at the Defender radar network and very scattered early this morning as far as active weather goes. Right now along the Bluegrass Parkway west, working its way toward Franklin and Scott counties, as well as over northern Kentucky, too, along the I-75 north corridor. That is where we are also seeing some heavy rain early this morning. But notice how these storms are seemingly being born out of nothing. That is the atmosphere that we are currently dealing with. It's humid, it's muggy, and it is certainly going to be stormy as we head into our afternoon. The Storm Prediction Center has placed most of the bluegrass under slight risk for strong to severe storms, as these will seemingly bubble up and stay with us from the afternoon through the evening hours. So a little bit of a bumpy start to the first weekend of June and a wet one as well, but we will see finally things calming down, clearing out, and cooling down within about 48 hours. Coming up, I'll take you through the weekend and show you how things are playing out.
All right, Mike, thank you. He was the greatest. This morning, the world mourns the loss of a boxing legend, a humanitarian, a Kentuckian, Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali died last night, according to a statement from his family. He was 74 years old. WKYT's Mike Beyer joins us from the live desk this morning with more details. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Meredith. The three-time heavyweight boxing champion and cultural icon was hospitalized in the Phoenix area with a respiratory problem earlier this week. His children had flown in from around the country to spend time with him there. Ali also suffered from Parkinson's disease for many years. Although he dominated the sporting world for nearly 2 decades, his career impacted society. We watched on Twitter. The tribute messages to the champ just kept pouring in overnight. Here's what some from around the boxing world had to say. George Foreman wrote, quote, "Ali, Frazier, and Foreman, we were one guy. A part of me slipped away. The greatest piece, Muhammad Ali." On Twitter, Mike Tyson had this to say, "God came for his champion. So long, great one." And Oscar De La Hoya called Muhammad Ali, quote, "a legend who transcended sport and was a true champion for all." Civil rights activist Jesse Jackson also remembered the greatest of all time.
He meant and means so much to us. A champion in the ring, a hero beyond the ring, who sacrificed his career for principles and anti-war profit. He is the voice of our time.
Muhammad Ali's family says that his funeral will be in his hometown of Louisville. The specific details have not been released yet. This morning at 10, the city will honor Ali at Metro Hall. At the live desk, Mike Beyer, WKYT.
Thank you, Mike. Well, we have an update this morning on a story that we've been following for days. The Army says 4 soldiers who were swept away in a rain-swollen creek in Texas have been found dead. That brings the death total to 9. The Army says the soldiers disappeared after the Army truck they were in flipped in a creek at Fort Hood earlier this week. They were taking part in a training exercise at the time. 5 other soldiers in the truck were killed and 3 others were injured. A Fort Hood spokesperson says it was the swift floodwaters that swept the truck from the road and caused it to flip.
7:04 now on your Saturday morning, and there are plenty of events going on today.
Yeah, here's a look at what's happening today. It's the last day to enjoy the Capitol Expo Festival in Frankfort. Now you can take the kids to the Children's Festival from 10 to 2 today, and it's free for kids 2 to 12. It's all happening at the Capitol Plaza Complex at Fountain Place in Frankfort.
And all aboard, Thomas the Tank Engine is inviting little conductors to team up with him for the day. Thomas will pull into the Kentucky Railway Museum today and tomorrow in Nelson County. You can ride with Thomas and enjoy other Thomas-themed activities from 9 o'clock until 6. The event is $20, but kids 2 and under can get in free. Now, if you can't make it this weekend, Thomas will be back next weekend. If you want to find out more, you can visit kyrail.org.
And you can let your kids get creative and hands-on at Lego's Kids Fest. There are 2 sessions happening today at the Kentucky Expo in Louisville. The first is from 9 to 1:30 and the second is from 3 to 7:30. Tickets are $22. You can just visit the website that you see here on your screen for more info.
You can also grab a flashlight and go behind the scenes for the special tour of Those Large Bones, the Shaker Mammoth. With the lights off, you and your family can investigate the hidden details of very large and some small fossils during this After Dark adventure. It starts at 8 o'clock tonight at Shaker Village.
Oh, that sounds fun. Well, today you can jump in a pool and raise money for charity. A Nicholasville couple is hosting a swim-a-thon fundraiser for families who've lost an infant. The swim-a-thon is open to swimmers of all ages today from 10 to 3 at the Asbury University Luce Activity Center. You can check out the website that you see here on your screen for more info.
The Living Arts and Science Center's annual bike ride through downtown Lexington is back for the 8th year. The event is prom themed, but it's a little bit of a twist. This time, dress up as your favorite David Bowie person, glam up your bike, and hit the streets of Lexington. You have to register by 5 at the center, and then the ride starts at 6. It costs $10, and there will be all kinds of other prom themed activities during that ride. There will be awards presented at the after party that'll be at the break room on Manchester Street. All kinds of stuff going on.
Fun. Yeah.
7:06 on your Saturday morning. There's still plenty ahead here.
That's right. Rolling Stone says 3 different artists are claiming to have the most popular album, and they're all right. Well, sort of. We'll find out who's #1 ahead.
And one little girl in Texas finally got her wish thanks to her parents. She now has a doll that's exactly like her. We've got that story after Mike's forecast.
Active weather is here, and it looks like it could get a little strong as we head into the afternoon. Coming up, I'll break down the strong to potentially severe threat that faces Kentucky coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
The first weekend of June is here. Not many days left to go until the summer, and it's feeling and looking a lot like the summer even right now. We check out the Defender radar network and zoom in on the Lexington Metro, and we are now starting to see some pop-up thunderstorms packing heavy rain working their way eastward, now moving through the Anderson-Woodford County area and pushing into western Fayette County. So if you live near Keeneland, the Masterson Station area, odds are you're going to start to find some heavy rain over top of you here within the next few minutes, really, and that should continue on through at least the next half hour to an hour goes. This will pretty much be the theme of the day today as moisture from the Gulf of Mexico continues to work its way northward. That's going to interact, though, with a cold front to our west that's going to cause for the thunderstorm development to continue throughout our day today. Behind that cold front, things get a lot better. We cool down, the humidity drops off. But until then, we continue to stay in this warm range through the morning hours and continue to stay muggy as well. The lower 70s and upper 60s across the board right now, and that will continue as we head into our afternoon today to rise. Now, as far as the cloud cover and the rain goes, that should actually help keep those temperatures down a little bit. If it continues to rain, we continue to see the near overcast skies, we simply won't get the sunshine needed to bring us into the lower 80s. That could change for a few spots. If we do get some breaks, that will allow for the temperature to rise, but that will also enhance the thunderstorms as we work our way into the afternoon, too. This is what it looks like right around 3 o'clock today. Things aren't as widespread as you'd expect them to be, a little more scattered, but regardless, still tracking a bit of heavy rain to continue as we work our way into the evening hours. The I-75 South Corridor close to Boyle, Madison counties, that should continue as we head into our evening hours. If you plan on being outside today or if you're going to any outdoor events, it certainly couldn't hurt to have a backup plan just in case with what looks to be quite a bit of rainfall and thunderstorms coming our way this afternoon. Sunday looks quite similar, especially into the afternoon hours. We get back to the heavy rain, but that will be relatively short-lived compared to Saturday as things do begin to improve. This is what it looks like through your Sunday, anywhere from a half to an inch of rain for central and northern Kentucky's. The totals get higher as you head east and southeast, closer to the western slopes of the mountains. Right now, Breathitt County, the Laurel County area expected to get quite a bit of rainfall, close to about 2.5 inches on average. As far as the mugginess goes, that will continue to stay quite tropical through our Saturday. Sunday, things do begin to drop off a little bit, but by Monday, when that cold front passes by, look what happens. That humidity drops off significantly. That humid air will essentially get pushed off to the east of us and replaced with mild, more comfortable air, which should not only bring those high temperatures down, but it should also take the wet weather with it. So that cold front essentially wiping the slate clean and bringing us into a work week looks to be a little more pleasant. All in all, though, a slight risk for potentially strong to severe storms for almost the entire bluegrass state through your Saturday. So take it easy. If you do have those plans to go outside, certainly couldn't hurt to reschedule them, at least for today. Tomorrow looking a little better, still tracking the chance for some storms into the afternoon. But all in all, your Saturday not looking like the best day to kick off the first weekend of the month.
All right, that's always a nice start to hear, right?
I guess. I mean, if you like the thunder,
not really.
You like the sound of thunderstorms to go to sleep, then hey, this is the day for you. But otherwise, kind of unpleasant to be outside.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Mike. Well, we love sharing good stories about some of the special things parents do for their kids. This one just might be at the top of that list.
For one little girl, her parents gave her a doll that looks just like her. Take a look.
You gotta be kidding me. It's got a leg like me.
10-year-old Emma was born with a rare birth defect and has worn a prosthetic limb for most of her life. Her parents say she's always wanted a doll that looked just like her, so they bought an American Girl doll and had it specially modified with a prosthetic limb just like Emma's. The video already has millions of views, and the parents hope it will persuade more doll manufacturers to think of kids with disabilities. That's pretty special.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you can't beat that moment where she realizes that, you know, that's like I said, very special.
That's right. Well, when WKYT returns this morning,
Will our Heroes in a Half Shell be able to top another set of mutants at the box office? We'll find out if turtle power is enough for the #1 spot. Welcome back, 7:17 on your Saturday. We got a pair of sequels and romantic drama hitting theaters this weekend, but can any of them top X-Men at the box office?
Plus, an Oscar winner may become a superhero. Madonna strikes a pose in court. David Daniel has all of that in your Hollywood headlines.
Here we go!
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Those heroes in a half shell are back to defend New York in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Analysts don't expect the sequel to make nearly as much as the 2014 reboot, but it should easily top X-Men Apocalypse to lead the weekend box office.
Use the time he's got left. Show him how good his life can be.
Emilia Clarke and Sam Claflin star in Me Before You, based on a best-selling novel about a woman caring for a paralyzed man. Box office watchers say a dearth of female-centric films recently and Clarke's popularity from TV's Game of Thrones should help the romantic drama manage a decent opening weekend.
Ever since I was born, I was dope.
And then there's Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping, a parody of pop-umentaries like Justin Bieber, Never Say Never from Andy Samberg and The Lonely Island. The comedy is getting good reviews, but the number crunchers figure it'll debut well down the chart. Maybe you can stop the music.
Feeling pretty good.
But is she feeling marvelous? Variety reports that Oscar-winning Room star Brie Larson is the frontrunner to play Carol Danvers, a.k.a. Captain Marvel. A standalone movie about the Air Force pilot who emerges from an accident with superpowers isn't due out until 2019. But with an actress in place, Marvel could introduce the character in an earlier film, the way it did in Captain America Civil War with Spider-Man, whose reboot solo flick is scheduled for next summer, and Black Panther, whose standalone movie is set for 2018. Madonna is off the hook for copyright infringement. According to the LA Times, an appeals court has ruled in her favor after she was accused of using a horn segment from another song in her 90s hit Vogue. The court said the snippet lasted less than a second and a general audience wouldn't have recognized it.
Nothing to proving, I'm bulletproofing, know what I'm doing.
Who's number one? Rolling Stone says 3 different artists are claiming to have the most popular album, and they're all right, sort of. Ariana Grande's Dangerous Woman has the best global digital sales, tops on iTunes in more than 70 countries, including the U.S. Blake Shelton's If I'm Honest leads physical album sales, not just on the country chart, across all genres. But add it all up, physical, digital, and on-demand streams, and Drake remains the king, with views topping the Billboard 200 chart for the 4th straight week. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That is such a catchy one, right? You can call me on my cell phone.
It will be in my head the rest of the day now. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'll sing it at break.
Yeah,
for
you.
you.
Sure. 7:20 on your Saturday morning. There's still more to come.
That's right. Your sports is up next.
On the way next, Eddie Gran talks about recruiting for the football Wildcats. The Royals World Series trophy is in Lexington. Today's the last day to get your selfie with it. And the 10th Region Baseball semifinals. We had a good ball game yesterday. I've got the highlights next. Mark Stoops has told us he will have his entire squad back on campus by Monday. The summer work will begin at that point. The fall camp still about 2 months away. Kentucky's coaches have been out on the recruiting trail, and Eddie Gran is the man now in charge of the offense. He's encouraged by the response.
I think, first of all, they've seen the progress. They really have. These kids are really, they're smart. They watch it, they see what's been going on, and they feel like this program is on the upward swing. High school coaches see that. This staff's done a great job of bringing guys in and really building relationships. The other thing, it's the SEC. You walk in with UK and you've got that SEC brand, it doesn't matter. You know, they want to play in this conference. They want to make sure that they're playing against the best.
The Kansas City Royals claimed the franchise's second World Series trophy last weekend, and this weekend, trophy is on display in Lexington. The trophy, which stands 2 feet tall, weighs around 30 pounds, is making stops at each of the Royals' minor league affiliates, including the Lexington Legends. Lexington is in its 4th season as the single-A affiliate to the Kansas City Royals. 10th Region Baseball semifinals last night. Clark County matched up with Campbell County, and a game resumed from Wednesday because of all the rain. We go to Bourbon County. Campbell County leading 3-1 in the 5th. The Cardinals make it 3-2. Tyler Walton delivers the RBI single. Later in the 5th, Brady Crow with the grounder to short, but the junior will beat the throw. That allows Chandler English to score. It is 3-3. Then comes one of the best plays you will ever see. 6th inning, Campbell County threatening. Ethan Creamer crushes one of the gap, but Clark County's J.J. Johnson with the game-saving incredible catch. But it would be for naught because in the 7th inning, bases loaded for the Camels. Corey Franzen, the lefty, slaps it up the middle. 2 runs come across, a 6-run 7th for the Campbell County Camels, and they win it 9-3. That's a look at sports. Have a great day.
Now at 7:30 on WKYT this morning, boxing legend and Kentuckian Muhammad Ali has died at the age of 74. We'll take a look at how people from Kentucky are remembering the Louisville native.
Also ahead, Lexington police arrest a man who they say is connected to a string of burglaries around the city.
And a Whitley County baby is still in the hospital after investigators say a mother gave birth in a tent where meth had been made. That and more coming up on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. We can do it in unison.
Yeah, we're going to do the whole
like.
show that way, actually. I'm Sean Moody. Thanks for joining us. It's a little bit wet out there.
It is. Let's go ahead and check in with Mike Linden to find out how today is shaping up.
Yeah, well, it does look wet, stormy, muggy, pretty much the way it's been almost each and every day, although now the potential is there for strong to severe thunderstorms bubbling up into the afternoon. In fact, that's what we're finding right now. Watch this 2-hour loop here where there's seemingly nothing. And then, bam, a line of thunderstorms now beginning to develop along central Kentucky, stretching from Franklin County along I-64 and into Fayette County. Right now beginning to fill in the circle with heavy rainfall. So if you live on the northern end of Lexington or over the western side close to Masterson Station and Keeneland, odds are you are seeing the rainfall right now. We zoom south and look at Rockcastle County, southern Madison County. We're also finding additional thunderstorms popping up there along I-75 south. This will pretty much be the day as a whole. These thunderstorms bubbling up out of nothing and potentially becoming strong to severe storms a little bit later this afternoon and evening. A slight risk for that severe weather, and that's almost for the entire bluegrass state. So a wet start to the first weekend of June, but coming up, I'll take you through the next few days and show you how things will actually begin to calm down and cool down. That's all coming up in about 10 minutes.
I shook up the world! I shook up the world!
This morning, the world surely is shaken. Many people are mourning the loss of a boxing legend, a humanitarian, a Kentuckian, Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali died last night. According to a statement from his family, he was 74 years old. WKYT's Mike Byer joins us from the live desk this morning with a look at how he's being remembered by fellow Kentuckians. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Meredith. The three-time heavyweight boxing champion and cultural icon was hospitalized in the Phoenix area with respiratory problems earlier this week. His children had flown in from around the country. Ali also suffered from Parkinson's disease for many years. Ali died last night in the hospital. He was 74. Although he dominated the sporting world for nearly 2 decades, his career impacted society. We watched on Twitter the tribute messages to the champ just kept pouring in one after one overnight. Here's how many Kentuckians are remembering Ali. Governor Matt Bevin said on Twitter, "The final bell has rung for a great Kentucky legend. Thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Muhammad Ali. #WeAreKentucky." Former Kentucky Lieutenant Governor and Louisville Mayor Jerry Abramson tweeted, "I lost a good friend today, and the world lost an ambassador for peace. You'll always be the greatest, Muhammad Ali." Representative John Yarmouth released a full statement on Twitter. In part, the congressman said, quote, "I am just one of the many in Louisville whose heart aches for the loss of my friend, and yet our community is better for his impact." He went on to say Muhammad Ali was a selfless giant who put principles over everything and never forgot the city he called home. Muhammad Ali's family says that his funeral will be in his hometown of Louisville. The specific details have not been released yet. This morning at 10, the city will honor Ali at Metro Hall. Also tonight at 9 on CBS, 48 Hours will present Muhammad Ali Remembering a Legend. You can watch that right here on WKYT. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Thank you, Mike. Well, new this morning, Lexington police are trying to figure out what led up to shots fired in a neighborhood. It happened at the intersection of Russell Cave Road and Hawthorne Lane near New Circle Road and North Broadway. Police got the call just after 1 o'clock this morning. They tell us that witnesses say 2 men were exchanging gunfire with each other. Police say they found shell casings, but nothing was damaged and appears no one was hurt.
Lexington police have arrested a man who they say is connected to a string of burglaries around the city and possibly other burglaries too. Police charged 24-year-old Seth Dinsmore with burglary, theft, and receiving stolen property. Police say he broke into Brooklyn Pizza twice, along with Hart's Dry Cleaning and Palmer Tire. Lexington police say Dinsmore stole electronics, tools, and firearms from 2 homes last month. They also say he stole tools from a truck and sold those to a pawn shop. They also say they're also trying to figure out if he's connected to other burglaries at Lexington businesses.
New this morning, Lexington police have canceled a golden alert for a missing woman with Alzheimer's. Police say 63-year-old Peggy Coleman returned home yesterday. They tell us she is okay and in good health. In Whitley County, investigators say a mother gave birth in a tent where they believe meth was being cooked. Police say the baby's parents called 911 during the birth asking for help. When paramedics arrived, police say they found evidence that meth had been made in the tent. The baby's father, David Osborne, and mother, Megan Helton, now face drug-related charges. Now, last check, police say the baby is in critical condition at Kentucky Children's Hospital.
It's scary for the outcome of the child, what it faces in the future. Possibly could it have birth defects?
Osborne was taken to jail, but Helton was admitted to the hospital. Police say they did not find any meth in the tent, only the materials used to make it. Well, it's another busy Saturday here in the Bluegrass, and as long as the weather holds up, you and your family should have plenty to do.
Yeah, it's the big question today with showers moving through the area. If it's dry for you, though, here are some of the events going on today. Lexington's Douglas Park is turning 100 years old, and city leaders are celebrating with a new playground and a big party. Construction starts on the new playground in August, and it'll be finished by next spring. The park will also celebrate that milestone today with a pool party from noon until 4. There'll be music, food, and games, and admission to that party is free.
Also tonight, you can see a free concert and help fight cancer at the same time. The American Cancer Society will hold its Relay for Life Festival of Hope. The event starts at 4 this afternoon and runs all the way until midnight at Masterson Station Park. Activities include a free concert by Sunday Best. Admission is free, but it's only $5 to park.
7:37 now on your Saturday morning. We've still got plenty coming your way ahead here on WKYT this morning.
That's right. We're looking back at some of the greatest moments in Muhammad Ali's career. That's still ahead here on WKYT.
Active weather has already arrived to kick off our Saturday, but now more is on the way, and some of these thunderstorms could run strong to possibly severe. Coming up, I'll break down the severe threat and show you what the weekend has in store.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with Mike Linden.
Why I am tracking strong to severe storms as we kick off our first day of the first weekend of June. On Saturday morning, right now, if we take a look at what's going on across central Kentucky, we're seeing some lightning right now in Lexington. That's pushing over the Bryan Station area toward Winchester Road. Most of Lexington getting in on this one cell here, bringing some heavy rainfall, and it is, as you just saw, some lightning too. Scott County, Woodford County, and Franklin County also tracking little thunderstorms pushing through the area. We look at Rockcastle County and I-75 South moving toward Madison County. We are also seeing active weather there. That's going to be the case today as we work our way throughout our Saturday. Thunderstorms seemingly bubbling up out of nothing. With dew points already as high as they are, that's going to make it feel not only muggy and uncomfortable, but it will also lend to thunderstorm development. Low pressure continuing to push warm, moist air northward from the Gulf of Mexico, and a cold front to our west is going to force that warm, moist air higher into the atmosphere and thus giving us those tall thunderstorms. Moving into our afternoon, though, temperatures aren't going to improve much beyond what you're seeing here. The low 70s and upper 60s tack on maybe about 10 degrees. That's where we'll be, if that, because with the rain and the thick clouds over us, it's really going to limit the ceiling of our temperatures. Check this out in your hour-by-hour forecast. We head into the afternoon, really only looking at 78, 79 degrees for most of central Kentucky. Even these temperatures popping up in the mid to low 80s, that might not even occur just because of the rain and the rain and the cloud cover. So the models might be overcooking things a little bit in the south and southeast, but nonetheless still looking at a muggy day. It's going to feel uncomfortable again. As far as thunderstorm development goes, the afternoon into the evening hours, that's where we'll continue to see that developing. Sunday looks pretty similar to Saturday, although not as widespread, and as far as the severe threat goes, it looks like things will have certainly died down by that point. But by the end of your Sunday, we could be talking about quite a bit of rain. Some impressive totals across eastern and southeastern Kentucky, upwards of 1 to even 3 inches of rain, simply because of the mountains being right there in the southeast. The rain essentially raining itself out along the western slopes of the mountains. The rest of the Bluegrass state picking up close to about 1 inch of rain. That's certainly quite a bit with already a saturated ground as we've seen over the past few days. We do have a cold front, though, moving in, as you saw at the top of the forecast. That's really going to work to clear things out as we head into the second half of the work week. That's going to bring those temperatures back down, make things feel a little bit more mild for you, and it will nix the humidity levels and make things feel more comfortable. But at least through the day today, a slight risk for strong to severe storms, and that pretty much encompasses the entire Bluegrass state. So today, maybe not the best day to be outside, to go to any events, or really just to be outside in general. Couldn't hurt to have a backup plan. Tomorrow looks somewhat similar, although the severe threat might not be there. And into the upcoming work week, that's where that cold front kind of makes things feel a little bit better and look better too. More sunshine, cooler temperatures, less humidity. Today, we just have to get past it, and then things get better.
Yeah, a few days of showers reminds us that we're still technically in spring.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, not too long to go until summer now.
That's
Sounds
true.
good. Thanks, Mike.
All right, well, it's 7:44.
We'll have more news when we come back.
Good morning. I'm Bill Bryant. The new man in charge at Kentucky State University says he can see a bright future for the Frankfurt School. Hear from interim president Dr. Aaron Thompson coming up.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. I'm Bill Bryant, hoping you're enjoying your weekend. With an inspirational climb of his own, from growing up in poverty in rural Kentucky to becoming a nationally recognized expert on diversity and education, Dr. Aaron Thompson is now in charge at Kentucky State University. He's the interim president, but Thompson makes it clear that he can see a bright future for KSU with the right guidance. Thompson's a guest on Kentucky Newsmakers. I guess the first question, it is a tall challenge. Why did you agree to accept this post, at least for now, at Kentucky State University?
Well, first of all, I feel honored to have been offered and feel very satisfied that this is the right move at the time for me and Kentucky State. I agreed for several reasons. One is that I've been very much involved with seeing Kentucky State either grow or in some cases not grow over the last many years. And with knowing the kind of knowledge that I had about Kentucky State, I thought it would be a quicker fit, if you will, that we would jump in and try to help it to get to a point of thriving.
Do you intend to seek the position permanently?
Well, you know, I haven't even got to that point of thinking yet, to be honest with you. I mean, I started earlier this week, and we've been on the ground running from the get-go. When it comes up time, if you will, I'll think about it. I know the board has decided to move forward with a national search immediately, and with that in mind, you know, I want to make the university a place that any top-notch president would want to come and do that. So my job is, although interim, is to act like I'm going to be there for the next 100 years.
Dr. Raymond Burse was in his second term as president of KSU before he suddenly stepped down last week. At one point earlier in the year, he talked about even the possibility of KSU closing. KSU was spared from the budget cuts by the governor and the legislature. What are your initial impressions of where things stand?
Well, first of all, let me thank the governor and the legislature for sparing KSU from the cuts, because to be honest with you, we are having to do a lot of efficiency moves in order to have the kind of dollars to not only find ourselves even, but to find dollars to invest. There's no way that you can operate a university of the size of KSU or the importance of KSU from a continuous point of a deficit. So giving the process of having no cuts, but given the process of knowing that we're going to have to start the build process at a faster rate, it gives us a shot to really be a successful university, not only for the state, but nationally also.
The enrollment now, as you mentioned, has dropped. What is it approximately now, and what should be the goal, do you think?
Okay. Well, you know, we're around 1,600, 1,650 currently. And I look at that as viable enrollment. I mean, what I mean by that is we may have some people there that may be on the books but not actively engaged. What I'd like to see over the next 5 years, that we would move back to somewhere between 2,700 and 3,000. Now that's a tall order, because it looks as if we're going to try to double the enrollment. Well, we are.
Now, you can see the full interview with Thompson on broader education and diversity issues, as well as at KSU, and hear from an expert on reducing the threat of mosquitoes around your place. It's all on Kentucky Newsmakers, airing tomorrow morning at 6 on WKYT, repeating at 10 on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. I'm Bill Bryant. We'll be back on WKYT This Morning.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning at 7:53. We've covered Muhammad Ali's death and how some are remembering him all morning.
Now Vanita Nair takes us back and shows us Ali's life and his turbulent career.
I told you I was floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee.
He could talk and box with the best. It was that 1-2 combination that lifted Muhammad Ali to heights few athletes or individuals ever reach.
That's why I say I'm the greatest. I'm a poet, I'm a movie star, I'm an actor, I'm a fighter, and most of all, I'm pretty.
When he spoke those words, his name was Cassius Clay, a boxing phenom raised in Louisville and headed for stardom. After winning gold at the 1960 Olympics in Rome, Clay shocked the world when he beat Sonny Liston to capture his first heavyweight title.
Stopping it, that might be all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a bad man. I took up the world.
After he beat Liston, Clay announced his conversion to Islam, reintroducing himself as Muhammad Ali. That change of faith also changed the course of Ali's life.
Even if it means facing machine gun fire that day, I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam.
Citing religious beliefs, Ali refused military service in Vietnam. He was convicted of draft evasion and stripped of his boxing license. The boxer took his case all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court and was eventually vindicated, but not before losing 3 years in the prime of his career. Ali's much-anticipated return to the ring saw the ex-champ regain his crown an unprecedented 2 more times. Ali battled Joe Frazier 3 times, including the legendary Thrilla in Manila. But many say Ali's greatest boxing moment came in Zaire, Africa, when the aging boxer introduced the rope-a-dope strategy that wore down George Foreman and opened the door for Ali's shocking 8th-round knockout. During his career, and especially after, Ali created an aura that transcended sports. He donated millions to charity and became a goodwill ambassador for Islam and the United States. But the later years were not kind to Ali. Parkinson's disease severely slowed his speech and movements, and he rarely appeared in public. Ironically, a man who used his sharp tongue to become an international celebrity became a man of few words. In 1996, he was chosen to light the flame at the Atlanta Olympics. 9 years later, President Bush awarded Ali the Medal of Freedom for his lifetime achievements.
Happy birthday to you.
In 2012, friends gathered for his 70th birthday party. The former champ insisted on going, even though he could do little more than wave.
Muhammad likes celebrations that involve him and are centered around him.
And as always, Ali loved being in the spotlight. Vanita Nair, CBS News.
Tough to see him finally gone this morning.
That's right.
Sadly.
Now a look at your weather here. A slight chance for strong to severe storms throughout our Saturday today. So if you have plans to be outside, certainly a good idea to have a backup plan just in case. These strong storms already beginning to bubble up, but we'll see most of them this afternoon as we head into the evening hours. So here's your 7-day forecast. The rest of the weekend, temperatures slipping off just a little bit into tomorrow, some leftover thunderstorms to boot. Monday, Tuesday, though, after the passing of a cold front Sunday afternoon and into the evening, things are going to cool down and dry out. The upcoming work week looks fantastic. Temperatures moving back into the mid-70s, those overnight lows slipping back into the mid-50s. So we'll get rid of the humidity, but we still have to get through a stormy day today.
For sure. Well, thank you for joining us. Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day.
All right. The news is always on WKYT.com. Have a good